you know.
Yeah.
But so a lot of it was a combination of both, you know. But since I was so driven, I would be very prone to getting very frustrated.
So, and at the same time, you must have a lot of patience because you did that for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just drive. It was just, I was driven. I wouldn't say that I was patient at all. Just
No, I mean to stay with this
driven.
one teaching for such a long time.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah.
think you will get it eventually and stay with it, stay focused with it. It's
Yeah,
15 years.
it's strange, you know, because again,
It is strange.
Yeah. I didn't know anybody did it any differently until I
Yeah.
started to teach.
Yeah.
I literally had not a single spiritual friend the whole time I was sort of seeking. Because I was always usually the youngest kid in the room. And to me it was a very intimate, very private affair. I didn't even feel like I really needed to talk or wanted to talk to anybody about it. So the strange thing was, it never entered my mind to go seeking for other teachers. It never entered my mind that a teacher could somehow give me what I was looking for. It never entered my mind to do more spiritual window shopping was going to be useful in any way. They literally never entered my mind. I didn't realize till I started to teach that some of these kind of thoughts are actually common. You know, a lot of people do, you know, go through a really wide range of different teachers, different teachings, all of that. It never even occurred to me. Not a single time.
And then there was this day where you were sitting, trying to calm your mind down. And what happened?
Well, the first time when I was 25, it was my
Yes.
first opening.
Yes.
And strangely enough, for the 5 or 6 years before that, I had had this intuition, very clear intuition, that I was going to die at 25 years old. And I thought it was going to be physical death. What else could you assume?
Yes.
The strange thing is, again in retrospect, it never concerned me whatsoever. It was like a piece of information that was given to me, and my mind made nothing out of it. It was just like a fact. And I didn't have any relationship other than it was a fact, and somehow I knew it was going to be true. So fast forward, 25 years old, and I sit down to meditate, and I was really, really intentionally trying to have this breakthrough for a long time. I would walk the sidewalk, the streets going to work, and I would literally have this mantra in my head, like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Because I felt like I had something inside of me, this intensity, this thing that wanted to be known. And it was almost like I got invaded by it, is how it felt. Like something came inside.
You were possessed.
That's what it felt like. And I would just literally, in my mind, what is this? What is this? What is this? All day long. And I used to think, I wonder what day I'll actually have some sort of psychotic break or psychological breakdown, because I knew that I couldn't sustain that intensity indefinitely. So I used to think about that. So anyway, one day I have this real intensity, and I sit down to meditate, and I just have this feeling of, this is it. I'm really going to somehow do it. And I sat down, it was like all my will just focused. Within a couple of minutes, I focused like I'd never focused. And right at that moment, I had an insight, which was, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great insight. It was like complete defeat. Just utter, devastating defeat. Like, not only can I not do this, this will never happen. I'm defeated. And as soon as I had that sense, I'm defeated, I cannot do this. This immense sort of opening.
So when you
happened.
said, I cannot do that anymore, meaning the meditation,
The whole thing.
the whole thing,
The spiritual search, the enlightenment, the whole project. I just met like this wall that I've been pushing and pushing and pushing on.
Yeah.
And I was defeated by it. Intellectually, emotionally, physically even, energetically, I was just completely defeated.
So,
And as soon as I was defeated, in the next instant, it started out as an energetic thing. I guess they would call it nowadays a Kundalini experience. Do you know? And I felt this immense rush of energy and started breathing quite heavily, and my heart started to
were
beat.
you on your own that?
I'm just sitting there meditating in my little meditation hut in my parents' backyard.
Yeah.
And having been an athlete, I knew what my maximum heart rate felt like. I knew what a heart rate of around 200 felt like. And my heart was beating way faster than that. And there was so much energy, the heart was beating, it felt like my heart was going to explode. I was breathing hard, and yet I'm sitting there meditating, you know. I can't move. And I just had a thought. This is going to kill me. And the next thought I had, when I knew it was going to kill me, the next thought I had was, if that's what it takes, let's get it over with. And it wasn't like a courageous thought. It wasn't, you know, like a masculine, fearless, okay, I'll do it. It was just a very simple, okay, I'll die. I'll die right here, right now. I'll let my heart explode. I won't move off this cushion. I won't go anywhere. And I really thought I was going to die, 100%. As soon as I thought, okay, I'll die now, all of a sudden I was instantly in a different, I don't even know what to call it, different dimension. I wasn't aware of my body anymore, absolute darkness, total infinity of black. And I wasn't even there anymore. It was just this infinite, open, sort of black space. And after a while, what I could feel is there was like these insights coming, almost being downloaded through the top of my head into my body.
Yeah.
Like a computer program was being downloaded.
And what was the insights? Could you differentiate the information?
I couldn't. They were coming like 100 a second. Just way too many for me to have any conscious, but I knew they were insights. Just like, if you can imagine ahas going off like a popcorn popper. But so quickly you couldn't stop to really recognize what you just realized. And so there was this downloading of almost like information and ahas. And then, then slowly, after some time, I don't know how long, I became more aware of my body. And the energy had settled, everything settled, and after a while, I was just sitting there. Totally normal. Absolutely no high, no low, no, it just all just, and I'm just sitting there. And I think, well, there's nothing left to do. I guess I'll get up. And I got up, and
You didn't have any afterthoughts?
Not at that moment.
What this blackness was?
Not at that instant. It was just so, looking back, it's, it's almost strange. I didn't have these, I just thought, well, I guess I get up, and I got up, and I turned, and I did the bows, and I bowed to my Buddha statue figure that I was always there with the incense lit, and I bowed down, and by the time I got my head back up, I was just laughing hysterically. And I just looked at that Buddha, and I thought, I've been chasing you for years. And I could see that which I had been chasing was this that was chasing it. I didn't have any more definition than that. That was of what that was, what I was, what I'd been chasing, but I knew that what I had been chasing was what I am. And that's where the laughter came from. Just laughed and laughed and laughed. And then right in the middle of that, I turned and opened the door, and this voice that I'd always had, anytime I had even the smallest insight, this voice would always say, like, very good, now keep going. It was like this voice that would not let me settle for anything less than what was really real, ultimately true. And I used to get upset with it, because I would think, I had this nice insight, let me
enjoy it.
Let me enjoy it. Give me a day. Give me a week. I've seen other people that have had insights, and they get to, think they've achieved everything, for at least a week or a month or two. Anyway, I turned around and opened the door, and that voice came in, and it just said, "This isn't it. Keep going."
How did you feel about that?
Again.
Here you knew who
I
you
know.
were,
I know.
and at the same time something says, that's not it.
That's not it. Keep going. First of all, as soon as I heard the voice, I knew it was true. But I also knew that that voice wasn't discounting what had happened. It wasn't saying what you experienced was completely false and there's no truth and get rid of it and move on.
So it was not a super ego attack or
No,
something.
not
so
at all.
It was a guidance, was
Yes.
more like a guidance.
It was always like a guidance.
Yeah.
No, it was, and I knew that what it meant was, this isn't it, just meant this isn't the all of it. Don't grasp this. Don't stop. Don't think you've arrived. Keep going. But yet I didn't feel like what I experienced in any way was being discounted. I knew that it was extraordinarily significant. I knew it.
Yeah.
And I also knew when I heard the voice that there was more. There was more for me. There was a clarity that there was more to see. I didn't know what that meant, but
something big also happens. The seeker stopped.
That's right. The seeker stopped.
Yeah.
All this, that drive,
Yeah.
the seeking of it, the strain, the struggle, the seeing it as separate, all, because I knew that I wasn't separate from what I was seeking anymore. It all just disappeared. I never had that seeking energy after that day, ever. And yet, I still would get up each morning and in the evening. I'd still do my meditation. Everything looked the same.
Yeah.
And most people would look at it and they might go, "You were still seeking," but I wasn't. It was just, this is what I was to do. I just knew it was the thing to do. I couldn't, if someone said, "Why are you doing it?" I couldn't tell you why, because there wasn't any seeking to it. But I just knew that this was the thing for me to do.
So what happened? So the seeker was gone, and yet you knew there is further to go for you.
Yes.
Did you feel you had to do something for that?
It never entered my mind that I either did or didn't have to do anything.
So you knew you just had to relax?
Just like that voice told me, keep going. And so then I would sit down in my meditation and I would, actually what started happening was what my teacher always told me. Just sit. Just sit. Don't just sit. And I used to try to just sit, which you can't, right? And now I could just sit. I would just sit. And if someone would ask me, "What are you doing?" I would say, I'm just sitting. I'm not doing anything. So meditation was a time when there could be total allowance to do nothing. I would call it the doing of nothing. The practice of doing nothing. And no seeking, no nothing. But I just knew this is what I am to do. There's more, and I was left with a question. I knew that that's what I had been seeking was what I was, what I am. But the question that came into my mind now, what exactly, precisely is this that I realize? I know it is what I am. I know it's not of time. I know, therefore, I can't die. I was never born. I know all that. I know that. But what exactly is this?
Yes.
That I am? And I could not. I didn't know that. I knew that I was it. Whatever way it was, I was it. Not me as an ego, but me as it. I knew that. But so that question, that was what I was left with. What exactly is this that I am?